Good day. Now we are going to tackle about the chapter 8, which is the process planning. So first is, let me define what is the process. So a process is defined as any group of actions instrumental to the achievement of the output of an operation. So group of actions ni siya, mga actions, mga ways, steps taken to meet your goals para ma-achieve nimo ang imuhang particular output ana nga operation. So that is the process. Next is, what is process planning? So ganina is process man to, now arita sa process planning. So what is process planning? Process planning is a preparatory step before manufacturing which determines the sequence of operations or processes needed to produce a part or an assembly. So process planning, so di ba mingon ta nga ang process is a group of action steps. So sa process planning, mag-take gyapon kag actions, mag-take gyapon kag steps, but you need to plan. You need to plan para ma-determine mo ang imong operations, ma-determine mo ang mga kanang information needed, mga taken actions para ma-meet nimo ang imong goals, ma-meet nimo ang imong particular output. That is the process planning. So, of course, in process planning, it needs an information. So, information required to do the process planning. So, naadyo information required just to do the process planning. So, first is the quantity of work to be done along with product specification. So, the quantity of work, pila ang quantity ana nga work to be done along with the product specifications. Apila na siya mga product specifications. Next is the quality of work to be completed. So ganina is the quantity man, now the quality of work, the quality itself, the quality of work, just that work to be completed. Next is the availability of equipment, tools, and personnel. Of course, ato pod kanang include, ato pod i-determine ang availability of equipment, ang mga equipment nga imong kanang need ana sa imong operation, kanang available ba na siya. And then the tools, ang tools itself sad, and mga personnel, kay ang equipment, tools, and personnel importante na siya, pinaka-importante na siya para mabuhat nimo ang imong operation, mabuhat nimo ang imong goal. Next is the sequence in which operations will be performed on the raw material. So the sequence in which operations will be performed. Asa ang operation nimo i-perform on the raw material. So the sequence, ang sequence ana niya. Next is the names of equipment on which the operations will be performed. So ang equipment, tama dyan yung mga names, di ba, na yung mapangan ang mga equipment. So, imusad ng kanang required sa nga information o sa name, ana nga equipment, ana ang operation, then asa na siya kanang perform. Next is the standard time for each operation. So every operation na ama dyan ay standard time. It's for example, magamit ka og equipment which is the oven. So for example, ang oven gamiton nimo for 15 minutes, 20 minutes ing ana. So naay standard time. Apil na siya sa information required to do the process planning. And last is the when the operations will be performed. So kanus kana ang operations nimo i-perform. Magbuhat ba ka ana in daytime or in sa gabi iba or sa afternoon ing ana, when the time, the day ing ana. Next is ganina is the information requirement to do the process planning. Now is the process planning procedure steps, ang pagkasunod-sunod sa imuhang buhaton. Parehara na sa magluto ka og kanang mga foods, mga adobo, may ana, dapat na ay procedure nga imuhang buhaton. Sa process planning na apoy procedure. Of course, first is the preparation of work drawings. Kita inig maghimo tag mga butang nato, dapat i-prepare pa nato ang mga gamito nato, diba? So that's the process planning procedure. First is the preparation of work drawings. I-prepare sa nimo ang imong mga work drawings. Next is the deciding to make or buy. Next is mag-decide ka. Ganina is to prepare. Now second step is to decide to make or buy. Maghimo ba ka or magpalit ra ba ka, ingana. Next is the selection of manufacturing process. So, ganyan na is to pag-prepare, mag-decide, now mag-select na pod ka. Select of manufacturing process. Unsa mga process nga imuhang select so, in manufacturing. Next is the machine's capacity and machine equipment selection. So, unsay capacity ana nga machines nga imuhang buhaton, unsay capacity ana nga machine para mao na ang imuhang i-select. Next is the selection of material and bill of materials. So, mag-select na kag mga material and bill of materials. kanang every operations na adyo na cost, di ba? Na i-bill nga imuhang bayran, imuhang kanang mahibaw-an ingana bill of materials. Next is the selection of jigs, fixtures, and other attachments. So be ready na lang po because in process of planning procedure na adyo na ang mga fixtures and other attachments nga imuhang dapat i-select mao na sa process planning procedure. Next is the operation planning and tooling requirements. So mag-operation planning na ka about sa imuhang mga tooling requirements. Mao ba nang mga requirements nga imuhang pangitaon, imuhang select, imuhang himuan og plan. Mao ba na ang mga tool, mao ba na ang mga requirements tool. And last is the preparation of documents such as operation and route sheets. So, mag-prepare sad ka og mga documents. It very needs to have a preparation of documents such as kanang mga route sheets. May importante sad na siya sa process planning procedure.
Good day everyone, I am Rosemary C. Cabezas and I will be the one reporting the process planning procedure and buy or make decisions. So let's continue with the objectives. The first objectives that we have is identify the process planning procedure and understand the different factors of buy or make decisions. So what is process planning? Process planning is a preparatory step before manufacturing which determines the sequence of operations or processes needed to produce a part or an assembly. So let's proceed with its procedure. Step 1, we have preparation of work drawings. So a product is depicted by its drawing. A working drawing is a document complete in itself to manufacture a component or product. It shows components' geometrical shape, its dimension with tolerances, if to be machined, surface finish required, any heat treatment, surface coating if required, bill of material and any other information considered necessary so that the component can be manufactured and inspected without any difficulty. An assembly drawing shows the complete product with all its parts in proper relationship. Sub-assembly drawings are concerned with particular group of parts that make up the product. Detailed drawings show each part individually and indicate dimensions, material specifications, and other information. Much of the planning in manufacturing company is based on the specification provided by mechanical drawings. The tooling department uses them to plan the tooling that will be required in manufacturing. The drawing should be in some standard form so that the part number can be found quickly and that every separate item shown in a drawing should have its own number and name corresponding to that given in parts list. Step 2. Deciding to make or buy. Recommendation should be made whether to make or buy the material, part, or assembly. Information should be sufficiently detailed to take intelligent decisions. So this step will be discussed further later. So let's proceed with the step 3. Step 3 is selection of manufacturing process. So selection manufacturing process determines how the product or the service will be produced. Step 4, machine capacity and machine or equipment selection. So capacity is a rate of output, a quantity of output in a given time, and it is the highest quantity of output that is possible during that time. Yet, capacity at the same time a dynamic concept which subject to being changed and managed. To some extent, it can be adjusted to meet fluctuating sales levels. Machine capacity may be defined as the time available for work at a machine expressed in machine hours, minutes, or seconds. So the next step is selection of material and bill. So the most common method of analyzing a product into component part is through the use of bills of materials or specification sheets. Bill of material is a means of determining purchasing and production order requirements. It should indicate if the part is to be manufactured or purchased. The production control department uses the bill of material to determine manufacturing and scheduling dates. So moving on with step 6, we have selection of jigs, materials, and other attachment. So these devices are necessary to give higher production rate and to reduce cost of production per piece. So step 7 is operation planning and tooling requirements. So operation planning and tooling requirements is a stage in planning which mark the completion of routing and process planning level. The operation planning is concerned with planning the details of the method to be used to complete each operation at its chosen work center and designing the necessary tooling. So operations are divided into work elements. The record used to show the planned sequence of work elements is generally known as operation sheet. It is in effect a record showing how an operation should be carried out. And the last step is the preparation of documents such as operation and route sheets, etc. So the purpose of the operation sheet is to record and communicate information that is essential for making each part. This is the sole determinant and criterion for the design of the form that will be used. It is intended to achieve a level of specification that can be costed, evaluated, and altered in specific rather than in abstract terms. So operation sheets are prepared for each part, subassembly, and assembly. An operation and route sheet summarizes the operations required, the preferred sequence of operations, auxiliary tools required, estimated operation times, and etc. So now, let's proceed with the buy or make decision. So buy or make decisions have many factors, including quantitative factors and qualitative and other factors. So first, let's have a quantitative factors. So in quantitative factors, we have opportunity cost. So, opportunity cost may be defined as the monetary value sacrificed in rejecting an alternative. Facilities utilized in manufacturing a part or component are, in effect, sacrificed for any other use. The decision to make or buy often boils down to an attempt to optimize the utilization of facilities. So, next is incremental cost. Only those costs that vary with the decision to make or buy are generally considered relevant. So the next is idle facilities. Unavailability of idle facilities bears directly on the make or buy decisions, particularly with regard to determining the incremental cost involved. If sufficient facilities are available, only variable costs, those costs that vary with volume must be considered. And now let's proceed with the qualitative factors. So first we have product quality. So parts may be made in one's own factory in an attempt to control the overall quality of an end product, even though it may be more economical to buy the parts from outside. So the next is patents. So legal restrictions may prevent a company from making certain parts. The next is skills and materials. Required skills may be very technical or materials very rare and special, thereby precluding in-house manufactured of certain parts. So the next is long-term considerations. It may be more profitable in the short run, for example, during slow periods, to utilize idle facilities by manufacturing more parts in-house. However, this may result in poor relations with suppliers or even non-availability of parts from outside sources during busy periods when in-house facilities should be used more profitably in other ways. And we have also other factors. These factors of intangible nature that may be influence the make or buy decisions are number of outside suppliers, reliability of outside sources, and seasonal demands. And that would be all. The next subtopic will be discussed by my group mates. Thank you.
Process selection determines how the product or service will be produced. So here, it means it is the choice of methods and workflows to develop and on saan pag-manage sa product. So it also involves kung saan pag-organize sa mga buhatunon, allocate resource and coordinate activities para ma-market ang product effectively. So process selection, it involves major technological change, minor technological change, specific component choice, and process flow choice. So, in major technological change, refers sa mga decision about sa tools, software, and technologies na gamiton aron ma-develop, ma-launch, o ma-maintain ang usa ka product. So, it also involves sa pagpili sa sakto na tech solution aron ma-optimize ang product performance, development process, and overall success. While sa minor technological change is decision ni siya about technology or tools na gamiton pag-develop sa product pero dili kaayo dakog impact pero nagihapon siya contribution sa development sa paghimos product. So next is the specific component choice is refers to selecting the individual features, functionalities, or elements that will be included in a product. So it involves deciding which components are essential to meet user needs and achieve the product. And the last is process flow choice. So sa process flow choice, kini kay this refers to the decision making na og ang sequence sa activities involved sa paghimo sa product o pag-deliver sa product. Factors affecting process selection. First is current production commitment. So sa current production commitments is naik agreement aron ma-deliver ang certain quantity of a product within a specific time frame. So it involves committing resources and planning to meet the production targets agreed. Sa delivery date, here kay naanay deadline or expected time na ang product or service kay ma-deliver sa customer. So maka-influence sab ani ang choice na manufacturing process kay na may uban methods na paspas pero less cost-effective, naasay dugay pero more efficient. Kung i-consider nimo ang pag-balance sa delivery date with the other factors, parehaan ang cost or quality, makatabang aron makapili ka kung asa ang pinaka-suitable production or service process. So sa quantity to be produced, kay mao ni siya ang number of units or items na ang manufacturing process kinahanglan makaproduce ani. So very important ni siya na factor because lahi-lahi na process are efficient for different production volume. So, sa quality standard, here kay mag-set na criteria that help aron ma-determine ang suitability o effectiveness of a particular manufacturing or business process. Sa machine capacity, from the word itself, this refers to the capacity or the capability of the machine to handle a certain volume or quantity production. So this is important factor also because ang pagpili og machine with the right capacity leads you to meet the production requirements efficiently.
So, process and equipment selection procedure. Equipment and process selection can be time-consuming and difficult. Process is driven by a number of key factors and in order to understand your requirements. So, process selection refers to the deciding on the way of production of goods and services will be organized. So, ang process selection is mo na siya ang kung giun sa pag-process ang imong pag-product sa laing o sa pagbuhat sa imong product. Like ang equipment selection is the decision planning process whereby an organization decide to purchase equipment for business purposes. So kani is equipment selection. So as like naka-business, so mag-decide ka kung kani bang product nga imong gamiton nga equipment is quality nindot og quality, like makanang dugay siya maguba. So now tay duha ka the formal step of the process and equipment selection procedure are included. So nasa duha ka buok. Ang first is develop a general statement of the manufacturing operation to be performed. Ang ikaduha is establish a provisional process to provide each individual feature identification by the product design. So, process shape description is a document that provides all the steps for the manufacturing product. Professionals can use it to ensure that each step in their workflow is appropriately complete. So, um, um, kanina yung process sheet description is the formal document that include a series of performance instructors and guidelines regarding a specific process or its parts that describe the operating and setting for process to produce a product or services. So, muna siya ang process sheet description. So, selecting of materials and jigs. It has become a subject requiring studies because selection of materials has become complicated by that great increase not only the kind of materials but also in the various remove from getting the product shape. So, ang jigs di ay mo na siya karon ang gigamit nato like technology nga aron mapadali ang ato ang pag-produce og product or paghimo sa mga product, like gamit din na siya like sa mga manufacturing kanang para easy na lang ilahang pagbuhat sa mga product. So, bill of materials. The most common method of analyzing a product into component parts in the use of bill of materials in specifications sheet. So, ang bills of materials, modern siyang known as part list. So, ang bill of materials is central sources of data to various product planning activities. So, kani siya is kanang ari ka mag-analyze sa imong product, sa imong kung unsang outcome sa imong kanang like sa imong mga product like tag manufacturing ka og mga product. So, imo siya i-analyze or kanang sa bill of materials. So, na depoy bills of materials include so the product name. So, asa kuan more so dapat na i-brand ang imuhang product para easy kanang madali na lang siyang pangita sa market. So, product code identification. So, muna kanang like madali din siya pag-detect nga imuhang gi-manufactured is imuha sheet of number, data of preparation, name of internals of preparing individuals, name of initials of checker, items numbers, make of purchase signations, parts number of names, quantity, equipments, materials used in parts, each part. So, modern na siya ang bill of materials. So, thank you for listening. I am Christine de Mayo Braga.
Good day, I am Christine Maldomas, and my topic is process analysis. Process analysis involves examining and evaluating the steps, stages, or components of a system or workflow to understand how it functions, identify areas for improvement, and optimize efficiency. It often includes process analysis is a systematic approach that can be applied to various domains, including businesses, manufacturing, healthcare, and more. Its goal is to enhance overall efficiency and effectiveness. Steps involved in process analysis. 1. Select the process for analysis. To select a process for analysis, you have to identify the objective list potential processes, prioritize based on impact and feasibility, to gather relevant data, define metrics, choose analysis techniques, consider stakeholders, assess risks to check feasibility. This to ensures a systematic approach to analyze processes with a focus on achieving specific goals. Break down the process into operation and sub-operations. It involves dividing it into distinct steps, while sub-operation further detail each step. This hierarchical breakdown enhances to understand the facilitate and efficient analysis to improve by addressing specific elements within the overall process. It aids to identifying bottlenecks, optimizing workflows, and enhancing overall efficiency. Construct a process chart and a flow chart is a visual representation that illustrates the steps or activities involved in specific process. It typically uses symbols and shapes to denote different stages and connectors to show the flows of the activities. Process charts help to understand the sequence of events and identifying potential areas for improvement in a process. Analyze the process chart and flow diagram. This involves examining the sequence of activities to understanding the relationship between different steps and identifying potential bottlenecks or errors for improvement. It allows stakeholders to gain insights into the efficiency and effectiveness of a process and facilitating optimization. Reconstruct the process method. Reconstructing a process chart involves revising or redesigning the visual representation of a process to enhance clarity, efficiency, or accuracy. This may include refining the sequence of steps, updating symbols for better comprehension, or incorporating feedback to improve the overall visual communication of the process. The goal is to create more effective and user-friendly representation that accurately reflects the underlying workflow. Test the proposed method. Testing the proposed method involves implementing and assessing the effectiveness of a suggested approach. This includes executing the steps outlined in the method, collecting relevant data, and evaluating the results against predefined criteria or goals. The testing phase is crucial for validating the viability and efficiency of the proposed method before its full implementation. The new method, or explain the new method, involves implementing a revised approach or process, often designed to address specific issues to enhance efficiency or achieve improved outcomes. It may include changes in procedures, also technology or methodologies because the explanation should highlight the key modification and their anticipated benefits, providing a concise overview of how the new method differs from the previous one. Process chart. A process chart is a visual representation of a sequence of steps or activities in a process. It typically uses symbols or arrows to illustrate the flow of tasks from start to finish. These charts help to understand and analyze processes, making them useful in various fields such as project management, manufacturing, and business processes. Common symbols include rectangles for tasks, diamonds for decision points, and arrows to indicate the direction of flows between steps. Outline process chart. It is a chart that surveys and records an overall picture of the process that states only main events or sequence-wise. Operation planning and tooling requirements. Operation planning involves coordinating activities, resources, and processes to achieve specific goals efficiently. Tooling requirements refer to the tools and equipment necessary for executing those operations effectively. Together, they ensure that a systematic approach to achieving objectives while considering the essential tools and resources needed for success. Operation sheet. An operation sheet is a document that outlines specific details of a manufacturing or operation process. It typically uses or includes information such as the steps involved, sequence of operations, tools, and equipment required, time estimates for each steps, and any other relevant instructions. This document serves as a guidelines for individuals involved in the process to ensure consistency, efficiency, and equality in the execution of tasks. Manual process planning. Manual process planning involves the creation of detailed instructions and procedures for manufacturing. Considering factors such as materials, tools, machinery, and the sequence of operations, this is done without relying on computerized systems. It requires human expertise to plan and organize the production process effectively. Automated process planning. Automated process planning involves using computer algorithms and software to generate efficient plans for manufacturing processes. It analyzes the product design, materials, and production constraints to optimize the sequence of operations, tool selections, and resource utilization in a cost-effective manner. And automated process planning, it has advantages of computer-aided process planning. It can reduce the process planning time. It can reduce the skill required of a planner. It can create more consistent plans. It can produce more accurate plans. And it can increase productivity. Generate process planning. It may be defined as a system that synthesizes process information in order to create a process plan for a new component automatically. The generate process planning also involves defining the sequence of operations, resources, and methods that requires the manufacture a product. It includes selecting appropriate machines, tools, and materials aiming to optimize efficiency to meet quality standards throughout the production process. Group technology or GT is an organizational strategy that involves classifying and grouping similar products or processes to streamline manufacturing or business operation. By identifying the similarities, companies can apply standardized methods, reducing complexity and improving efficiency. Functional and group or cell layout. Functional layout. In a function layout, similar machines or processes are grouped together based on their functions. This, this layout is suitable for large-scale production or standardized goods, allowing specialized equipment and skilled personnel to focus on specific tasks. While group cell layout, in a group or cell layout, machines and processes are organized into cells that handles a specific products or a group of similar products. This layout promotes flexibility and efficiency by creating self-contained units capable of producing a variety of products with reduced setup times. Group technology layout. A group technology cell or layout, often used in manufacturing, arranges machines with similar functions into cells to improve efficiency and reduce production by time, minimizing materials movement. This approach groups similar processes together because streamlining operation and enhancing overall productivity. Lastly, we have advantages of group layout. First, more effective design. It optimizes functionality, user experience, and efficiency. It considers user needs, minimizes complexity, and incorporate elements to enhance overall performance and satisfaction. Less stock and fewer purchases. It minimizes purchases involve efficient inventory management to decrease excess storage and control costs. This approach aims to maintain lean operation by aligning supply with demand, thereby optimizing resource utilization and improving financial efficiency. Simplified production planning and control involve streamlining processes to enhance efficiency and responsiveness. By minimizing complexity in scheduling, coordination, and monitoring, this approach improves overall production management and adaptability to change in demand or resources. Optimum sequencing and loading involve arranging tasks or items in the most efficient in order to maximize throughout the utilization. This approach aims to optimize resources allocation, minimize idle time, enhance overall productivity, and various processes, such as manufacturing or logistics. Reduced tooling and setup times involve minimizing the duration required to prepare machines or equipment for a specific task. This approach enhances operational efficiency by decreasing downtime, allowing for quicker transitions between different production processes and ultimately improving overall productivity. Reduce in-process inventories refer to minimizing the amount of unfinished goods within the production cycle. This strategy aims to enhance efficiency by decreasing storage costs, lowering the risk of obsolescence, and improving cash flow by aligning production closely with demand. Shorter throughout times. The shorter throughout times concept refers to the trend in information and communication becoming more concise and efficient over time, driven by advancement in technology and the need for quick, accessible content. More efficient utilization of expensive machines. To enhance the efficiency of expensive machines, consider implementing predictive maintenance to address issues before they escalate. Utilize workload balancing to distribute tasks evenly, and explore virtualization to run multiple applications on a single machine, maximizing resource utilization. Additionally, invest in training for operators to ensure proper handling and minimize errors that could lead to machine downtime. Regularly assess and upgrade software to leverage performance improvements to stay aligned with technological advancement.
Classification and coding. Coding means a system of symbols designed to be applied to a classified set of items to give a brief, accurate reference, facilitating entry, collation, and entry. In short, after proper classification of overhead, these should be given code numbers to make them easily identified. Next is Opte system. The Opte system has a more generalized application. It consists of 5 digits primary code and 4 digits supplementary code. The primary code is essentially geometrical components by that arrangement of shape, characteristics, and supplementary code provides information on component dimension, type of materials, and material thickness. Next is sequencing or prioritization. Prioritization has to do with a relative value for some value of the things we are doing. Sequencing, on the other hand, has to do with each other of things. This order might be, for example, the order that will do things in AKA planning. It might have to do with the value of things we are doing. So next is examples. So atong pangitaon ang average number of jobs ug ang average of job lateness. So first is atong pangitaon ang average number of jobs. So first is ang makita man nato dito nga ang job sequence niya kay 5. Yan ay nakabutang dito nga process time. Muna siyang 5 days pod. So ato siyang i-multiply. Ang 5 ato i-multiply sa 5 days. Muna siyang 25 plus 4 atong i-multiply sa 6 days. Muna siyang 24. Next is ang 3 at 3 atong i-multiply sa 7 days. Muna siyang 21. Then ang 2 i-multiply nato sa 9. Muna siya ang 18 plus 1 i-divide sa 11 days. Muna siya ang 11. So plus nato siya tanan. Then ang answer is 99 divided by 38. So ang 38 is given naman siya. Muna naman siya itong sequence. Then ang answer ana is 2.61. Muna siya atong jobs. So next is atong pangitaon is ang average of job lateness. So kanang makita na to sa igbaw nga ang job lateness ato is 34, atong i-divide sa 5 kay ang 5 mo na siya atong job sequence. So ato na siyang i-multiply, ang mugawas kay ang answer is 6.8 mo na siya atong days.